So we solved AND statements, or conjunctions, on the last two problems. Now we're going to solve an OR statement, or a disjunction. And a disjunction means that instead of the graph going together, the inequality signs agreeing with each other, they are not going to. They are going to go apart. So we're going to solve this just like we solved the AND statements by just getting x by itself. So we're going to add 1 to all sides. Over on this other side, we can go ahead and start solving this equation as well. I'll add 5 to all sides in this case because it was a minus 5, and I want to cancel out the 5's on the left-hand side. So now I've got an x is less than 0, or, and then over here I've got 2x is greater than or equal to 12. So I just have one more step to do to solve that second inequality, and that is to divide by the coefficient of x, which is 2. And I just do that work on both sides. And I get my answer. I've got x is greater than or equal to 6. And I'll go ahead and bring down the rest of the problem. I've got or x is less than 0. So this is our solution. These are all the possible answers. X is less than 0, or x is greater than or equal to 6. But to better understand that, oftentimes with these types of problems, we graph the solutions. So we'll put the 0 and the 6 on the number line, and those give us our endpoints. So from here we need to figure out the types of circles. So this one is just a less than symbol. X is less than 0, so it's an open circle. So 0 is not a solution. But the values of x are less than 0 because it points to the x. So less means left, so we're going to go to the left. Now, the other part of this is x is greater than or equal to 6. So, or equal to refers that the 6 is a possible solution. So we're going to go ahead and color that in, or shade that in, and have a closed circle to show that 6 is a solution. But there's also others. X can also be greater than 6, so that means we need to draw the line towards the bigger numbers. So that is an OR statement, when we have the values of x work with one inequality or the other. Well, we'll just take a look at one more example problem. And this one, go with a 2x plus 1 is less than 1, or x plus 5 is greater than 8. So when we solve this, we do it the same way. Again, we know it's an OR statement because they say it is here, and we're just going to do opposite operations to isolate the variable to find out where the endpoints are. So I'm doing the opposite of the positive one, and I'm taking 1 away to cancel out the 1's here. Doing the same thing with the 5's, canceling those out as well. So what I'm left with is a 2x is less than 0, or x is greater than 3. Well, from this point, I need to isolate that x a little bit further by getting rid of that coefficient. The coefficient is 2 that's in front of this x, and I need to divide by 2 to get rid of that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, sometimes people get a little confused about what to do here. This is 0 divided by 2. You can always divide a number into 0. You just can't divide by 0. Remember, a fraction represents parts over a whole. So this represents 2 as the whole, 0 parts. So it's like having 0 pieces of pizza. If there are 2 pieces all together, they cut the pizza in half and they have 2 pieces. And you decided to not take any. And that would be an okay solution. Well, so x is going to be less than 0, or x is going to be greater than 3. And that would be our solution here. However, we also want to recognize this as a graph too and represent it that way. So what we'll do is start by drawing our number line, and we've got our 0 off to the left-hand side and our positive 3 to the right. And this time we have open circles on both numbers because we have no line underneath the inequality signs. And so here it says x is less than 0 because it points to the x. So less means left. And over here it says x is greater than 3. So greater means to the right. So I draw lines towards the bigger numbers. So those are or and statements, and we use these when we solve absolute value inequalities, which we will see tomorrow in day 26.